Located on Lake Michigan in Illinois, Chicago, the Windy City, is the third most populated city in the U.S., covering an area of 182.02 meters. This vibrant city is a cluster of various cultures. Its iconic skyline, thriving art scene, and delicious deep dish pizza makes it a tempting destination for immigrants. Even with so much versatility, the city also holds some drawbacks that need to be considered before packing the bags and moving to the new home in the city. This video will explore the major reasons why you need to reconsider your decision about moving to Chicago before getting on the jet. Economic disparities. While Chicago is known for its economic prowess, it also suffers from stark economic disparities and has the highest rates of income inequality in the United States. The median household income in Chicago is $61,000, but the median household income for Black households is only $40,000. This also creates disparity in poverty rate. The city has a poverty rate of 22%, but the poverty rate for Black households is 34%. The gap between affluent neighborhoods and economically disadvantaged areas is among the widest in the U.S. Black Chicagoans have historically faced discrimination in housing, employment, and education. This discrimination has created a cycle of poverty that is difficult to break. Extreme weather fluctuations. The city is notorious for its weather extremes. Temperature in summers can reach up to blazing 90 degrees Fahrenheit. The winter is more bone-chilling, where temperature can drop below 0 degrees Fahrenheit. On average, the winter temperature lies up to 26 degrees Fahrenheit, with an average of 65 days with snowfall each year. In January 2019, the city encountered its lowest temperature in history when it dropped to 23 degrees Fahrenheit. The city is also prone to excessive snowfalls. In February 2021, a snowstorm hit the city and dumped approximately 20 inches of snow, causing massive power outages and travel delays. If you and your family are not comfortable with cold weather, then it is not the best city for you to choose. Not business-friendly and high cost of doing business. The cost of doing business in Chicago is relatively high. The city's property taxes are among the highest in the country, and the cost of labor is also above average. It has a complex regulatory environment, which makes it challenging for the businesses that are new to the town. The city offers a minimum wage rate of $15 per hour, which is 106% more than the federal minimum wage. This increases the cost of doing business exponentially. On top of that, that city also has high taxes. In fact, it has the highest property taxes in the country. High cost of living. Living in Chicago can be rough on your pocket, as the city's cost of living is 30% more than the country average. The soaring housing cost is the primary reason for this, which is 50% greater than the national average. The average monthly rent of an apartment outside the center is $2,727, while the home prices are around a whopping $555,672. Apart from this, utilities and groceries are also notably higher than the U.S. average. For a single person, the average grocery bill is around $500 per month. The transportation is 25% more expensive than the national average, and for an individual, it's roughly $100 per month to move within the city. To cope with the high cost of gas, expensive public transportation, and to manage your groceries and utilities, you'll need to make a higher salary to afford to live in Chicago. Taxes. Chicago's tax burden can be overwhelming. As per Tax Foundation, the city has the highest combined state and local sales tax rates. The city has a sales tax rate of 6.25% compared to the national average of 5.17%. Similarly, the income tax rate of the city is 4.95%, while the property tax stands at 1.32%. Not only this, but the residents must also pay an additional tax for various services, including garbage collection, parking, and water tax. This can be a significant financial burden for residents, especially those who are already struggling to make ends meet. Crime rate and safety concerns. The city boasts many safe neighborhoods. However, the high crime rate is still a burning issue of the city, especially some parts of its south and west side areas. As per the FBI's data, in 2022, the city recorded a violent crime rate of 738 per 100,000 people, which is 92% higher than the country average. Similarly, property crimes such as theft, burglary, and motor vehicle theft stand at 102% higher than the nation's average at 4,952 per 100,000 residents. Gun violence and homicides have been persistent issues, raising concerns about personal safety. The city has a homicide rate of 25 per 100,000 residents, which is higher than the national average of 5 per 100,000 residents. It is important to note that the crime rate varies from neighborhood to neighborhood. So do your research and choose a neighborhood that is safe for you and your family. Too much crowded. With a population density of 12,051 residents per square mile, Chicago is the third most densely populated city in the U.S. and the first in Illinois. The downtown area is particularly more crowded with a population density of over 35,000 people per square mile. Overall, Chicago is a very crowded city. This can make it difficult to find parking, get around, and enjoy the city's amenities. Traffic congestion and commute times. Ranked as one of the most congested cities in the U.S., the traffic can be a nightmare in Chicago. The city has an average commute time of 30 minutes against the country average of 26 minutes. As per INRIX, on average, the traffic congestion costs drivers approximately $3,476 per annum. Public transportation system of the city is also not that efficient when compared to some other major metropolitans. The Chicago Transit Authority is the primary public transportation provider, as the transportation infrastructure couldn't keep pace with the city's rapid growth. That's why there are lots of strains in it and become inefficient during crowds. If you're not used to driving in heavy traffic or feel stressful because of long commute times, Chicago may not be the best place for you. Public education challenges. Quality education is another significant challenge you might need to consider if you have kids that are attending school. As per National Assessment of Educational Progress, the quality of public education in the city is not up to the mark. The report confirmed that only 28% of its 8th graders have proficient reading literacy, while only 25% hold good understanding of math. Its public school faces issues like shortage of teachers, underfunding, and overcrowding, which also is a major reason for its underperformance in the education sector. Moreover, the city has also been criticized for its school segregation, with Black and Hispanic students disproportionately attending low-performing schools. Not family-friendly. All the factors such as high crime rates, shortage of affordable housing, lack of quality education, and high child care costs make the city less family-friendly. Moreover, despite its size, the city lags behind other major cities in terms of accessible green spaces. The city's parks, though lovely, are not as abundant as in some other urban areas. So, if you are considering moving your family to Chicago, it's important to do your research and choose a neighborhood that is safe for your family. You can use a crime map to get an idea of the crime rates in different neighborhoods, and also talk to other parents who live in the neighborhood to gather the ground realities. While Chicago undeniably offers a unique blend of culture, history, and opportunity, it's crucial to weigh these aspects against the city's challenges. From extreme weather to high living costs, crime rates, and education concerns, the decision to move to Chicago should be made with careful consideration of your priorities and values.